getting no data? There we go. Okay, that looks like it's working now, I think. Alright, that's much more positive. And we are now live. Okay, cool. So, it's been a while since I've streamed. We've done a few bits and pieces off stream. I'll show you sort of the latest features. So probably the biggest thing now is the revamped physics for the player movement. If I move around now, it might not be that easy to see, but there's a really, really smooth damping effect that's being applied to the player. And the movement, it's still a little bit on ice skates, I guess. It's still probably isn't quite enough friction, but we're certainly in a good place where we can, we've got a good enough base to build upon. Like, it feels kind of smooth and just nice, and also we've now got this direction vector, and that direction vector is a mechanism for figuring out which way to face the character. So if I move to the right, he stays looking. If I move to the left, he stays looking to the left, and if I move to the right, he stays looking to the right. So as far as dual axis player movement goes, I'm pretty happy with this. Obviously there are things that we can be doing better, but for the most part, this will get us by. I think a fair way, really. I'm quietly pretty happy with this. So yeah, that's that. The other thing that we've done is mainly in the player controller. So if I go into the player controller here, basically that whole mechanism, I guess you could call it, has been moved into this update function. So previously this was happening within the entity, and the entity wasn't actually cut over to the new world yet. So now this player controller is responsible for handling all of the inputs. So this is where we'll update to the gamepad when we get a chance. I've got mine here ready to go when the time is right. When we update to a gamepad, we'll use the gamepad to get values between 1 and -1 rather, and at that point we'll kind of have stick movement, which should be pretty smooth and a pretty good experience. The player controls at that point should feel fairly intuitive, and kind of what you would expect from a game like this, I guess, is the best way of saying that. So yeah, everything on that front has kind of worked out nicely. I'm really happy with the direction there. The other thing that we had a bit of work on, but we did last stream, was this selection tool. So we can now select boxes, and those boxes get clamped to the grid. So if I drag out here, it's always, sits perfectly on the grid. So what we're going to do there is, and this is sort of leads us into today. I don't know if you guys can see that on the stream. I'm just kind of looking at my preview. Let me just full screen this for a second. It looks really rough on my view, on my end, because it's quite low quality. So take my word for it. There is a selection box there. It looks quite prominent. If you head to the GitHub page, download and build this thing yourself, which you should be able to do, you'll see it as clearly as what I'm seeing it on my screen. So today, what we're going to hopefully be able to do is press this toolbar and have the room get committed to a list of rooms. and then be able to render the rooms on the map. And then perhaps at that point, it might be a little optimistic, but to see if we can get, I really want to try and get a shadow map drawing and rendered. So if we're lucky with the rooms and we can get that defined, we might be in a position where we can start calculating or start trying to figure out within SFML how to calculate that shadow map. So that's the plan. That's the plan for tonight. We'll see how far we get. So to show you where I'm at with that, I've actually done a little bit off screen again. So we now have, so this is the toolbar controller, specifically the handle input section of the toolbar controller. We then go in, we call this function create room, and then that accesses the reducer and then adds a room to the state. And the next step will be to figure out where the editor view is drawing the grid and all of that kind of stuff, and then to update that. So I have to remember where that is actually. It'll be in a view somewhere, but I don't actually remember which view it is. Toolbar 2's view, selected tile view, box selection view. So this is the view that draws the actual selected box. We can probably use this code as the basis for the room, created room view, I guess we could call it. Yeah, let's do that. So box selection view, headers, created room, selection view dot h. Let's do that. Room selection view. I think that's the only change we need there. And then into CMake lists. Let's add this. Created room selection view. And we'll do the same with the header. Created room selection view.h. So if we go and create that implementation, and let's implement include that, and we'll implement the draw method. SF render target. SF render target. Render target. And then we've got house scene state, which is a const house scene state. This is actually an implementation too. Okay, so it doesn't like. State. Okay. Oh, sorry, we have to put the const there. Yep, alright, so that's happy with me now. And then basically the same thing here. Rectangle shape. Yellow, I guess. We've used all the other colors. So what we actually want to do is we want to iterate over all of the rooms. Not editor state, I think I've just got it in rooms. Yes. So we want to use a templated method. I can't. Oh, actually, I think we want to use this for auto thing. Yeah, let's do that. For auto room, and that's a reference to the room in state.rooms. And then, yeah, we can draw each one of these like that. Rect set. Okay. Don't suppose I can do that, can I? Yeah. I wonder if I can pass a, because we're actually dealing with a integer rectangle. Just for the texture. Yeah, we don't. Okay, so no, we'll have to do it separately. Which is kind of interesting, like SFML, I can't take a rectangle type from the library and then instantiate a rectangle shape from it. I guess they're two different things, I suppose. Selected tile view. I think, what was the, I can't even remember the box selection view. That was the example that I was using. Fill color, set size, set position. Yeah, all right, so let's try that. Rect, set size, and then that will be room dot sfvect to, well, let me pass a vector to I, room dot left, room dot top. No, can that be a 2f? Yeah. And then set position. And then this will be room dot. Oh, no. This is left and top. This is width and height. Yeah. All right, let's just have a crack and see if that will work. So, that is, let's include it. What doesn't it like about this? Maybe that, yep. All right, so let's build and run. All right. So create, and we have nothing. Okay, that's not what we wanted to see. So let's do some really sophisticated and high-level debugging and print to the console, because that's always a good thing to do. That's running, that's good. What about this? We put it in here. Okay, so that's working, but we're possibly not seeing it with the right scale. So maybe yeah, so don't think that'll be the right scale. I think that won't be adjusted for screen coordinates. I think that'll be in world position, not screen position. So we probably should adjust it to screen position in the view. This has come up a few times. Before we say that, let's just see. Let's just see what the width is. That'll kind of give away what's actually happening. All right, so we draw out a room. So I'm expecting that to be 6, I guess. I haven't compiled, so let's try that. No right since last change. Really? I had 2 of them open, I think. All right, so let's try that again. All right, so width should be 2, and that's 0. Huh. Well, that's definitely wrong. Okay. So that's not getting added to there. I mean, it's getting added to the right data, and the right data is getting read when it should be, but the data itself isn't right. If that makes sense in a kind of not making sense way. All right, so that always looks like 0, width, height, left. Let's just presume everything's 0. Well, we won't presume. Okay, not 0. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. That's really interesting. Oh, interesting that it's the same number both times. What about just left? Maybe that is working, and the size isn't working. That's negative 13 every time. Why negative 13? Maybe the data isn't getting initialized properly and there's some trash in there. Height is 4, I guess? 8. Is it always 8? Always 8. Okay. Alright, so that data's trash for some reason. New dot left stood and okay. Alright, so I would hazard a guess as to say that the toolbar controller is not calculating this correctly. And I suspect it's map selection. Editor selection, maybe? Am I using... I might not be using the correct values. The correct item in the state. So my state isn't... Oh, I took that debug info away. I should have left that in there. Add. Stood. Cout. New dot left. Stood. And let's do left and right. Make life a bit easier. Sorry, left and top rather. And so we don't get those numbers mixed up. Okay, so that should print left and top. 0, 0, alright. 0, 0 again, not alright. Selection. Editor controller. Input bot selection. Reducer mouse pressed out, mouse released. Oh, I've got map selection. Did I have that? Map selection. Don't know. Don't think I had that actually. to that. See, what's interesting about this is the actual selection. Oh, that's... I think there's some race condition here, actually. I think the selection is getting cleared before it can create the room. Yes, I think that's what's happening. And it might be this method that's causing the issue. Oh no, wait a minute, that's... So is that getting to be the wrong value somehow? 1, 2, 4. That's right. That's definitely right there. It's definitely map selection. Definitely map selection. Something is causing the map selection to clear though. What's going on here? I think my Vim, something's crashed and locked up on me. Yeah, something that's just crashed. Annoyingly, it's alright. Alright. Actually, I probably don't need Tmux. I'm gonna like config quite how I want it anyway. Okay, so working back, so selection. Yeah, something is definitely... I think something is causing that map... Something is definitely causing that map selection to be incorrect when... Yeah. That is the toolbar control. So I'm not 100% happy with this. Yeah, alright, so let's... I mean, is that value getting reset? So if I hit... Alright, so if I select 1, that's there. Yeah, okay. So it's causing a selection. Yeah, so I know what's happening. So it's causing a selection here. So every time, in fact, every time I click, it thinks it actually changes the map selection. It always thinks the mouse is dragging. So it always reselects. So everything is right to the point where we click on that button. So I guess we have to revisit this somehow. I suppose we can have a threshold. How does mouse dragging get set? When does that get set to true? Here. Oh, it's within 5. Okay, so if it's in within 5, we set the mouse dragging to be false. Huh, that's interesting. I would have thought that would be... So we have got a threshold for that in there. Oh no, this is right. It's the... No, I was in the right place before. Okay, it only ever gets set to true one place here. happy with that. This one. Ah, it's all in the same file now. Okay. All right, so wait a minute. Oh no, that's on mouse released. Okay, mouse. Yep. So on mouse released, if mouse dragging that. So why is so I feel like when this shouldn't be running here. Yeah. Something is wrong here. These look like they're the wrong way around. So if delta, if it's less than 5 and greater than 0, or something doesn't look quite right. Oh yeah, no, look, it's a tiny little box. No, that's totally right. I think it's not taking into account 0. Why are we doing it this way? Why are we going to 0? Why don't we just do it like as a range between those two numbers? Like this kind of looks, I think this should be much more simpler. If delta dot x is less than 5 and delta dot x is greater than -5, or, and then we just do this, say the same thing for y. What have we done? Okay. Think. Wait. It's just. So I shouldn't. If I just click normally, I shouldn't see that. But if I. Yeah. We shouldn't allow selection boxes outside of the map. 2, 3, 6. Yeah, that kind of looks. Alright, that looks better. Selection. Alright, so this should print when the selection's updated. Okay, so left top 1 1 2 1, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, so good. That looks right. And let's just do the same thing with width and height. Width, height. Two, 2, 6, 1. Yeah, alright, perfect. Okay, so that, yeah. Alright, so that's behaving a lot better now. We removed that edge case. Alright, so that's that fixed. The next problem that I think we have is we're not allowing for the correct, when we're not allowing for the pixel offset of the room to be drawn. That's the next problem. So if I look at the view, created room selection view, if I look at this view, now I think, actually this will be good to say, see out room dot left, for example, stood and L. Alright, so we'll make one selection, and then we should just see the left value, we'll make it on 1, and then we should see the left value just keep going, which we don't. Oh, sorry, if I do that. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so that won't be making allowances for the pixel, for the offset, for the grid size and for the scale. So magic Adobe Sprite size, and that, let's just cheat just to make sure. So it's 16 sprites, and then we've got a scale of 4 like that. And then everything would get modified. So by sprite size, same here, by sprite size, and then this one by sprite size, and then by sprite size. This has come up a few times, this issue, if this is the correct one. Alright, so there. Okay, sweet. Beautiful. Alright, so awesome. We have, no, not that time. We have rooms. We have rooms. That is a thing of beauty. Alright, let's remove this. Perfect. And now I can draw in them. I see the rooms in the thing, which I don't really want. That's okay. I'm going to leave it as sprite size. That's the kind of risk I take. Open, read it, recover. Yellow. Whoa, what's happened? What has happened? Something. Oh, whoa, something has gone a little bit funny with house scene. Something's happened here. There's some... Okay. That doesn't seem as broken. What is going on here? What is going on here? Something... what is going on here? Because that keeps saying to me, found a swap. Edit anyway. Oh man, what has happened here? Something gnarly has happened, and I can't tell what it is. What is going on here? Another program may be editing the same file. Quit or continue. Recover. Already exists. Recover. You may want to delete the swap file now. This still... I have no idea what has happened here. All of this is just sort of munged. What on earth? And this is... what has happened here? Okay, so how do I... Why can I not delete this file? Why can I delete this abort? Local share nvim swap. Same. Okay, so I'm guessing it won't. Okay, so it won't contain. All right, so let's just add the view back, I guess. Create. Over here. Okay, that's working again, I guess. All right, so well, I guess that's kind of what we wanted to do. Yeah, I'm not sure. Vim just kind of wigged out on me then. So I get, all right, so there's probably a couple of things I'd like to do here to sort of round this out. The first thing I want to do, how are we doing for time? Oh, we're only on an hour. Oh, we could probably keep going. The first thing I want to do, I want to change that color from blue to yellow, so it's in line with our room selection. Yep. All right. So, okay. The other thing I want to do is when we create the room, I want to clear the selection. Yeah. Clear selection. Yeah, let's do that. Kind of feels nice to clear the selection after you create the room. Clear edits the selection. Let's be a little more precise about that. So we add the room and then we clear the selection. That seems like a reasonable map. So we just give it back the default house scene reducer. Okay. Yep. Ooh, so good. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. That's kind of what I wanted to achieve. So I guess on a small scale, so I don't know, like now I can start to sort of look at all the design. This is pretty cool actually, because I can start to really look at some of the elements of the design of this game, which this imagines in a way that I haven't really been able to do yet. Oh, I'm so happy with that. I can't delete the selections yet. That's a problem. But I can certainly add them, and they look really like looks a bit jutted on the view in the video, but I can assure you they are perfectly crisp and exactly how you would expect them to render. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. All right. Let's do this, because we don't want to see those rooms in the game mode. Alright, so there's a big room, we select it, we go into game mode, it's gone, it's back, cool. Oh man, I'm really going to need a fill utility for this at some point. Now, I suppose for me, the kind of next thing ooh, that's interesting. That's not showing up. Okay, we'll have to fix that. All right, so for me, the next thing is definitely... I definitely want to see how we're going to... Yeah, I definitely want to see how we're going to actually draw this shadow map. That's definitely the next thing on the agenda is to draw the shadow map. I don't think I'm gonna be I don't think there's particularly much else that I'll be able to do until I do that, really. Well, I mean, I can do lots of other things, but I don't want to. I really want to start kind of rounding out sort of what the light, like I want to get to the lighting basically. That's kind of the cool thing to work on. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to probably call it a night at this point. I'm pretty happy with the progress that I've made though. The other thing that I'm going to have to look at some point is how to get these into the map file as well. But I figure that's not as pressing as kind of figuring out. I really want to start to sort of round out what the look and the feel of the game will be from a lighting perspective. So I think that'll definitely be the next. That'll be definitely one of the next things I do. Yeah, definitely get it right from a lighting perspective. But you know what? That's pretty good. That's what I set out to do at the start of the session, and I think I've got there. And I think I've got there pretty well. It actually, it's like the selection tool feels sort of really robust at this stage. Obviously, I haven't got validation around certain selections, but I'm not too worried about that at this point. I'm just really kind of really chuffed at the way this has turned out, actually. I'm quite happy with that. Like, it's kind of, it just feels bigger than the sum of its parts, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm really quite pleased with the progress on that. So yeah, that'll be next time. Well, in the meantime, rather, I'm definitely going to do some more research around drawing those shadow maps, and then hopefully the next time we make a video, you guys are going to be able to see what will be the first attempt at a shadow calculation and getting sort of like setting the atmosphere of the game. I want it to be really kind of moody and atmospheric. So that's for next time. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you made it this far, comments and questions below, of course. Let me know if you want the source code and I can direct you to the Git repository. Please feel free to raise pull requests. Always welcome. Until next time, see you later.